The Imperial College of London published a research paper on March 27th, which suggested that without mitigation measures, almost 4 million people may die in the course of the pandemic. Does the Africa CDC believe the model is a useful prediction of the possible future scale of the coronavirus epidemic in Africa?
That's an extremely important question, which we are looking at all the models that are being developed. The Imperial College is one out of several groups that are doing modeling, and we are reviewing that as Africa CDC to look at the models that may best explain our scenario. Let me just explain that modeling is based on assumptions, and it depends on the kind of assumptions that you put in there, into that. That paper you just described, I've seen it, and there are 4 different scenarios that they are putting in there. I think the worst case scenario is where not enough is done or nothing is done, and a continent of 1.3 billion people is infected, and then what will happen to that? But something is being done. I think we are social distancing. You can see that I'm 2 meters away from Wayne, and we've shut down the AU, and people are working from home. So these other measures that have happened will mitigate that assumption and will factor into that assumption there. So we don't know what we don't know. There are so many parameters on the continent that will play into a model. And for example, the youthful population of the continent, about 70% of our population is less than 30 years old, and that may be a factor. At the same time, we know that it's a continent that has a high burden of endemic diseases, that is tuberculosis, malaria, and HIV, and other underlying situations like malnutrition. We just don't know how this will factor into it. And the lockdowns that we are seeing and the closures of borders, we also don't know how that is going to fit into the model. So I think let's be careful when we throw out numbers, but rather use the numbers to plan and allocate our resources as much as possible.